Welcome to Open for Business, the Gallatin Valley's only local business and consumer talk show featuring Tom Egelhoff, the Man Entrepreneur magazine radio called the leading authority in the United States for doing business in small town. Here he is, speaker, author, small business consultant, and Mrs. Egelhoff's favorite son, Tom Egelhoff.
All right, welcome everyone. Open for Business. We air every Saturday live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana. If you'd like to be a part of the big broadcast, go to kmmsam.com and click Listen Live. The call-in number during the show, 406-522-TALK, 406-522-8255. I'm here, you're here. Let's get the show on the road. All right, welcome back, everyone. Saturday, October 15th, 2016. It is 25 minutes before the top of the hour, 57 degrees outside. I want to welcome you to the podcast portion of Open for Business. Each week, I share some tips and tricks I've learned over the years about advertising, marketing, promotion, and building strong, successful businesses. And I do these Open for Business podcasts live every Saturday between 11:30 and noon Mountain Time from the studios of AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana, and of course, stream worldwide on the net at kmmsam.com. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll never miss another weekly podcast. You'll also find my podcast on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. Go about halfway down the homepage on the left side, and you'll find a link to the podcast page and YouTube page so you can catch up on any of my podcasts that you might have missed. Today's topic, I want to talk about how to make friends and turn them into customers. This podcast was inspired by a woman from Arizona who wrote telling me she was having trouble attracting customers to her home-based business because she was new in town and didn't know many people. Now, all human beings are creatures of comfort. We'll go a long way to avoid any feelings of discomfort. As many studies have shown, people have a greater fear of public speaking than they do of dying. So one of the hardest things for us to do is meet new people, especially strangers. It's even harder to turn them from friends into customers. So is there an easy way to do it? So how easy does it have to be? We've all seen images of New York construction workers taking a break and yelling and whistling at female office workers passing by the job site. Do you believe that these guys would act the same way if they were sitting up there alone? Some maybe, but most would not. And why not? Well, they don't have the protection of the group. They can hide in plain sight within their group. So mobs collectively do things individuals would never ever think of doing alone. So some of you might have taken a Dale Carnegie public speaking course. They don't force you to stand up in front of everyone and speak at the beginning of the course. If there are 25 people in the class, they make a group of 15 get up in front of the other 10 and just recite their names. That's all they do. They just recite their names. After all participants give their names, the entire group sits down. So you're not alone. You share the scary experience with other people. So each week as the class goes on, your group gets smaller and smaller until eventually you've developed the confidence to speak in front of the group by yourself. Then the class is asked to list all the things you did right, not what you did wrong. The more you speak, coupled with positive reinforcement, the more confident you become and the easier it gets. So in order to win friends and turn them into customers, we need to pick our group. So you can adapt the same teaching of Dale Carnegie to your small business. The first step is picking a support group to help you over the rough spots. Now, few people move to a city or town they don't know anyone. Now, you may have relatives or someone you went to school with. When I moved to Bozeman, Montana, I knew one person, the man I would be working for. So for this exercise, let's assume you don't know a single soul in your new town. We'll start from scratch. Now, in order to find a place to live, you're going to have to meet a realtor or a landlord. When you find a job, you'll be forced to meet the people who work there. So get acquainted with your new hometown. Attend city council meetings and local functions. I have a 50-butt rule. If there are more than 50 butts in a room, my butt's in there with them, because there's business to be done in that room. Even if you just sit, you'll eventually be noticed and approached by someone who's interested in your views on things. You'll hopefully want to find a church. People at work and people at church will also want to get to know you. Let them. Build on these relationships. Build on the strength of the group. What do they do in their spare time? What groups do they belong to? Find the friendliest person you can and build on them. Drop hints you'd like to get involved in the community or the church, but aren't sure how to do it. Your local United Way or other groups are always looking for volunteers to help them out. and you'll meet other committed people at the same time. When I moved to Bozeman, the first two groups I contacted were the local Chamber of Commerce and the Kiwanis Club. I volunteered to join the business support group of the Chamber, and I joined Kiwanis. I began to build my business on those two groups. Within 3 years, I was asked to serve on the board of directors of the Chamber and the United Way. And I'm also a past president of the Morning Kiwanis Club. I began teaching adult ed classes and writing business articles for the local newspaper. All these activities produced potential customers that I'd helped in some way. The great thing, or the worst thing, about small towns is you can become well known very quickly. It's very important that your first impression be a positive one. Become an asset to any group you become affiliated with. Don't take over, but take on responsibility and make sure you follow up on everything that's asked of you. We all want to support our friends. As people become more comfortable with you, or you can begin rather, to develop a business relationship with them. One of the tips I give all my marketing classes is everyone within walking distance of your home or apartment should have your business card. In fact, give them 2 cards, one to keep and one to pass on to their friends. These people are your neighbors. We want to support our neighbors. We have a common existence with them. We're in the same boat. They have similar challenges and successes, jobs, mortgage, kids, bills, etc. Let them know what you're doing, and even more importantly, ask what they do and become a customer of theirs. Don't erase all your hard work by selling a bogus product or service. Your friends, more than anyone, expect and deserve honesty and quality for their hard-earned money. Your product's quality should reinforce the relationship, not detract from it. If something's not right, you make it right immediately. Your friends are going to know people you don't know. Who do they know that might need your product or service? Build a new relationship with a referral and start the process all over again. I certainly make an effort to send any business I can to my friends, and hopefully they'll do the same for me. The major challenge to overcome in making new friends is fear. You must come out of your comfort zone a little bit. You have to meet people halfway. If you need to practice, go to a coffee shop and just say hi and thank you to the waiter or waitress that brings you your coffee. Start talking to people even if it's only hi. I stopped at our local Costco store last week. While I was standing in line, a couple came up behind me and they had 2 shopping carts crammed full of towels. I made the comment, "You must be really clean people." They and several other people nearby broke out laughing. The ice was broken. We started a conversation and I discovered they're opening a chiropractic clinic in a nearby town. So we exchanged business card and I met one more couple I didn't know and a potential customer. But here's something to think about. What if I had said, "You must be really dirty people"? Would the end result be different? I think it probably would. So pick your opening line carefully. The difference between friends and enemies might be a single word. Now I'm finishing up. There are 2 books that should be required reading for every student in every school. The first is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's available at every library. The book was written in 1936. It's as timely today as it was then. No matter how electronic we get, we always have to deal with each other. You and every employee should read this book twice yearly for as long as you're in business, and that's not an error. You should reread this book every 6 months. I bought it on tape, made copies, wear out the copies. The second is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. This book is a great confidence builder and is a must for the small and home-based business owner. You could add my book, How to Market, Advertise, and Promote Your Business or Service in Your Own Backyard, and you have all the tools you need to be successful in any business anywhere. And that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel or on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. Go about halfway down the homepage on the left side, and you'll find a link to the podcast page so you can catch up on any of my podcasts that you might have missed. So tune in each Saturday, and let's build successful businesses together.